Good morning, ladies. How are you? Hope you are doing well. Now, our short story today is Catherine the Rain by a very well known, prominent writer. His name is Ernest Hemingway. Now, this is Ernest Hemingway. Now, talking about his life, Ernest Hemingway is an American journalist, novelist, short story writer, and sportsman also. He invents what is called iceberg theory. Later on, we'll talk about iceberg theory. Iceberg, you know what's the meaning of iceberg? Jebel al Jalid. Okay, this mountain made of ice in the ocean. Okay, we'll talk about it. What is this theory? It's very important to know this theory. Most of his works between 20s, 1920s and mid 1950s. However, he published seven novels, six short stories collections, and two non-fiction works. He got Balthazar Prize for his novella that we will study, The Oma and the Sea, and also he got Nobel Prize in Literature in 1953. Okay, so let's go to see what is this story, the Cat in the Rain, is about. Now, first of all, this short story is really very short, only 4 pages, but it has a very symbolic meaning. And we have to know that Ernest Hemingway is well known by his choosing of the words. Every word has importance in this in short story, in this short story, or the way of his. I mean, this is the way of his style. Every word is very important. We have to take care of it when we are reading and when we are analyzing. Now, this short story, is about an American couple. Um, and he described that they stood at a hotel near which was a war monument. The wife was looking, by the way, he just mentioned the wife, the American wife or the girl. He never named that wife. And also, that has a symbolic meaning. While the husband, he mentioned the name of the husband almost at the end of the story. Now, the wife was looking through the window and she saw a cat which was in the rain. And the wife wanted to take the cat. That is why she left the room. As she went downstairs, she had met the hotel keeper. She liked hotel keeper. Why she liked hotel keeper? He is an old man, a very respected, a very handsome man, because he deals with her seriously. He tries to fulfill her wishes, and she liked him. When she went out, she understood that. Of course, she went out and she understood that the cat wasn't already there. Thus, she returned to the hotel. The cat disappears, and so that's why she returned to the hotel. She had a conversation when she returned to the hotel. Of course, a very important issue is that when she returned home, let me see this. As I said, the wife, when she went out of the hotel and meet the owner of the hotel on the lobby, when she went out, she found a maid was sent, was sent by the hotel keeper to hold an umbrella for her so that she won't get wet because of the rain. And after returning, when she didn't find the cat, she returned to the hotel room. She starts conversation with her husband, saying how much she wants the cat. I want the cat, I want the cat. She mentioned that several times. And she mentioned other feminine things like new clothes, new haircut style, a dinner and in the can, in a romantic place, and not on romantic, in the romantic place in their house, not in a hotel. But George, this is the name of her husband, pays a deaf ear to his wife and coolly asks her to shut up. And at the end, there is a knock on the door. There was a maid brings a big cart for her. because she was asking for that cat. Now, um, remember the exposition when we discussed the element of short story? We said the exposition, it is the time, this is the setting of the story, and this is very important. Now, the opening suggests, because they are staying in a hotel, so the opening suggests isolation of the couple. The indifference of the husband intensifies the sense of isolation for the wife. He never even helped her. He never gave her an umbrella when she went out. He never went with her. He never listened to her, to her needs, to her wishes. And that the indifference of the husband intensified this sense of isolation for the wife. So the wife lacks the guts and boldness. She appears to be very naive and timid. She is asking only for materialistic things, for haircut, for new clothes, for new house, for a dinner. It is. She looks like as if she's a naive and timid because she is asking for these materialistic things, and that shows the women in the 20s, how they look at the women at that time. Now, the unnamed wife, as I said, she has no name, longs for fulfillment and wants to have sibling in life. Even she asks for sibling. She wants sibling now. Now, that brethren, the hotel keeper, that to say, give the wife some feeling of importance when they took care of her, when he sent the umbrella for her, when that maid was holding the umbrella for her. That gives her that sense of being such an important person, and it is very important psychologically speaking. The American wife has been a victim, actually, of a male chauvinistic society as mismatched marriage. Throughout the story, the short story, through the way that the husband indifference to his wife, and that shows how male chauvinistic or the role of man in American society, and how it becomes the society, American society becomes a chauvinistic society. And of course talks about the marriage and mismatched marriage. He is a man who is he thinks that he is intellectual, and she looks naive, and she looks as if he is above her in his mentality. Her wish to get a cat, because she asks for a cat, kitty kitty, I want a cat, might suggest, of course this is symbolic being, we will talk about later on also. It might suggest her wishes to get a baby because she feels lonely, because she starts asking or saying her demands, materialistic demands. That maybe shows that she feels lonely. She wants something to fill the gaps in her life, and that is why she wants a cat. And a cat, as I said, it is a symbol of a baby. She wants a baby in her life to make her feel of her femininity, of being a mother. And finally, of course, she gets another cat to take responsibility for, and it is her first step. Might be regarded as the first step to a grown up life. Uh, of course, ladies, a very important issue I want to mention also, that the title of the story is a suggestive and symbolic one. As we know, it is in the nature of the cats to dislike the rain at all. At all. If it begins to rain, they hide where it is a warm place, not to get wet. But in this case, the cat is in the rain. See the title, the cat is in the rain. So the writer could emphasize the fateness of the cat to overcome the situation. that is say the rain. It is unclear why the writer chose the cat. His choice might be commented that possibly he could compare the cat with the baby for whom the wife, as I said, may want to